Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive, good God and truth of you, only crossing absolutely here and now, always bigger and better, infinitely. If you've watched anything that I have stated online, right, you will know I believe like Jesus and the thief at the crucifixion, right? You have to make all you are one more positive than just being a negative with negativity faithfully as the good God and truth of all reality check of the Shroud of Turin of all I am, okay? At the smallest state of all existence, right, which is the Planck line of existence, the energy of it, right, is just a circuit of energy, one more positive than all negativity that would not have the good truth of its circuitry here and now. When this circuitry, right, makes neutrons and protons and the quarks inside of them, right, it only does it as their circuitry, one more positive, right, than all negativity, stating them good as the truth of them here and now, bigger and better than all negativity that would not have them here and now. When this atom, right, is stated one more positive than all negativity as its circuitry of its matter, good as the truth of its shape, form, and mass, it is created indestructible, meaning it cannot be split and it cannot be destroyed. Okay? Now, inside of the atom, again, is the neutron and the proton, okay? Now, the proton is two up quarks of energy and one down quark of energy, and the neutron is one up quark of energy and two down quarks of energy. So you got to know that these are two opposite polarity charges, okay? The neutron is always negatively deficient of being a proton, okay? And without the proton, which is the positive energy of all creation of existence, E equals mc squared, not overwhelming the negative charge of the neutron always, right? No body, no matter, no atoms, no shape, form, and mass to the here and now of all reality check could exist. The neutral of nothing of the neutron, the proton, or the atom, okay? Now, when this atom bonds with two or more atoms, it can only do it one more positive than all negativity as its circuitry to make the good God and truth of all shape, form, and mass expressed to the here and now of reality check. Not to exclude every dimension of time and space you can think of, right? And the circuitry of it, and every dimension of God you can think of to the circuitry of it, okay? Meaning, any God that you think of, right, better absolutely, positively, right, be the good truth of the bigger and better of all negativity. Because if not, they are no kind of God as truth, okay? And in reality, they are just a gamey, faithful, speculating lie on what's more positive to be good as truth, the bad way, neutral, nothing of all faith. There's no such thing as good faith. Even at the most positive value of all faith, right? None teach or articulate by example to only cross more positive than negative. Good as the truth of their shape, form, and mass, right? Until all the negativity subtracts to one, neutral, nothing, just negative of the here and now of all faithful followers, only crossing absolutely here and now, bigger and better than a negative way. And that is the bad way of all faith. See, if you're not bringing all you are of negativity back one more positive, the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth to an absolute bigger, better here and now of you, more positive than negative, if you don't go splat, repeat as needed, effect of God check, right? Well, you won't always be. And anywhere you're not more positive than negative, it's the neutral, nothing of you. It's just you're negative with negativity. And to cross negative with negativity, right, is the blind side and the incarnate devil of all things. Listen to me. If a proton, right, is the positive charge of all things good and lasting, right, as the truth of their shape, form, and mass, only to a bigger, better here and now of them, right? And the neutron is only negative to the positive, good truth of the energy of a proton, right? Then you got to know, right, that not only is that neutron always deficient, right, but it's the neutral of nothing. Without that charge always overwhelming the negative of that neutron, right? Well, you're just a body of radioactive material. You see, crisscrossing with decay and disintegration, the negative way of it, right? To one neutral nothing, just the negative of you here and now, more positive and good. See, this is a more positive universe than a negative one. I don't have to tell anybody in the science community that, okay? The here and now states the matter of it, right? To the absolute bigger and better of all I'm saying. Meaning, you can look around you and see there's more than just negative with negativity here. There's the good truth of these window shades behind me, my stove, my TV, my kids, the yard, the sun. Okay, all these things are adding up bigger and better, good as the truth of my shape, form, and mass, one together with them, see? So I know that the here and now of me, the bigger and better of it, is more positive than negative. That's why the good truth of me is here and now, okay? Now, all of these things that exist with me, they only exist with me one more positive, good as the truth of them, bigger and better than all negativity, or I'm going to let them be nothing to me. Or I'm going to bring them to a more positive state than that negative way, which is, again, nothing to me of a negative way, okay? Now, if you don't know, because you think things cross bad with faith, to bring you all you are of negativity only back positive, that's the only way you can add up good or be good, right? To an absolute bigger, better here and now of you, than a bad way, a blinding negative way, well, you won't always do it. And I will show you something. Just like all things more positive than negative cast light, okay? You hear me? That they're a caster of light, okay? Anything that's more negative than positive is a caster of shade, okay? No, listen to me. And that shade, right, through faith is a blinding veil, okay? It's the blind way of all the bad of all faith, because they don't see through the negative, right, shadow casted upon their faith, that is no bad way, that's just a negative way. They need to bring back to a more enlightened state to make them good as truth always, to an absolute bigger, better here and now of them in reality check. And like I said, when you cross negative with negativity, that is the incarnate devil of you. I mean, to be negative with negativity ever is the devil of you, okay? And it's the only bad way of anybody of anything crisscrossing up out of reality with decay and disintegration, right? Static, twisted, scattered, blinding, and undefined to one neutral nothing of them here and now. And I want to show you something. When this atom, right, everything that's produced from the atom up, right, in all things reality, right? Come to the good truth of the shape, form, and mass of them, okay? Now, everything that's less than an atom with energy, okay, is only negative of it, okay? And this is why none of the fields, right, why they're having a problem with the quantum world or quantum reality and actual reality, okay, to a higher stated reality than a quantum reality, because they don't realize that anything less than an atom is only good as truth because it's stable at that point, right, to the bigger and better of all negativity that could destroy it. Anything less than that is always less than that, okay? With its embodiment of matter, with its embodiment of energy, with whatever the hell it's stating, okay? Now, when that atom bonds more positive with two or more atoms, that is the absolute good truth of those atoms one together, one holy embodiment together, okay? Indestructible only to an absolute bigger, better here and now of them, more positive and good. And that's why, when I said in my last video, right, I know as the good truth, as an indicator and an absolute predictor that my future states of being will only be more positive than all negativity. That is the absolute bigger, better of the good truth of my shape, form, and mass, okay? Now, that is an infinite because I only say preset to cross one more positive than all negativity. Like Jesus and the thief at the cross, okay? You have to state from the mind through the body to the world, preset more positive than negative to only add up good as truth, okay? Now, here's the reality check of that. If you don't go splat, right, you can always do more positive than negative. From the mind to the body to the world to the here and now circuitry of your body and life one together, no matter what physical state you're in. And if you only preset yourself to state that way, right, if you don't have a mind for it, right, like let's say you go out cold, well, that's all the bonding atoms of the matter of your shape, form, and mass, one wholly together, know to be. And that is the good God and truth of your head being stated more positive than negative in reality check. Okay, now if you go to Japan, where the bombs were dropped, okay, no matter where they were dropped, there were always survivors, okay? These survivors only were stated that way because they were stated more positively charged than a negative matter. So therefore, the radioactive material, right, could not affect the enlightenment of them to the bigger and better of their matter, okay? And when the Shroud of Turin was created, okay, when you die with negative decay and disintegration, a black hole matter to one neutral nothing. But if anybody has ever reset their phone, okay, or reset a electronic device, and they put power to it while they reset it, they'll notice that screen flashes, pow, right? Okay? Well, that's the better of the positive energy, right? Going through the negative electronegativity, crossing the vision of it, static, twisted, scattered, undefined, and nothing. And see, when that negative energy tried to take what was the good truth of Jesus and the thief, right, and cross it to one nothing, the more positive energy of the preset of their embodiment of matter overwhelmed those neutrons with their decaying energy and matter, and brought them both to a bigger, better, enlightened state, one together. So states the Shroud of Turin and all God truth reality check. And just like Jesus stated to the thief, it's all part of a bigger, better plan, man. Don't worry about them fools of faith. They've been crossing to one neutral nothing since Adam and Eve, man. You hear me? Just stay more positive than negative. I'm going to need you to roll back this tomb for me, man. And that's a fact of God check. And that's how that happened. And that is God, truth, a reality check. You can't die of crossing more positive than negative. If you don't go splat to only preset yourself that way, right? Well, only adding up good as truth. The only way anybody of anything can be good as truth to hear now their reality check of circuitry, right? To the bigger and better of all negativity. Well, that's impossible. Not one thing, creation applied one to the here and now existence of all God, truth, reality check, right? Ever crossed to one neutral, nothing, just negative of them here and now, being more positive than any negativity, man. That does not happen nowhere in reality check. And that is a fact of God check. From the fool, thief, man, God, king, Adam, man, first evolved, the triple male of all I am. If Adam would have only crossed Eve, preset one more positive, right, than all negativity, only adding her up good as true, until the absolute bigger and better of that negativity only subtracted to one neutral nothing, just negative of the here and now them, well, that's all Cain and Abel would have been. That's all Abraham and Isaac and Ishmael would have been, and that's all God truth reality check would have been, because that would have been the only articulation, and that articulation states bigger and better than all faith and its foolish negativity, and that is a fact of God check. Again, don't cross devilishly delusional, static, twisted, scattered, blind, undefined Antichrist up out of your mind on what's good as truth of your shape, form, and mass, and how to exist here and now in reality check. Peace.